Hi, my name is Catherine Warner, and I am a high school history teacher with the Linn-Mar School District in Marion, Iowa. I have been teaching for 18 years. The first 13 years I taught 7th and 8th grade social studies, and then the last 5 years I've been teaching US history and world history to 9th and 10th graders. I teach a 90-minute block, and I teach two sections of US and one section of world. I also get a 90-minute prep period. I'm required to contractually be at school at 7:30, and we offer what's called early session for students to come in and get help or to have a place to work before their school day begins. And then I also have a 25-minute lunch that many times students will come into my classroom and work, or they don't want to go to lunch and they just eat lunch in my classroom, or they just sit and look at their phones for 25 minutes. Sometimes they talk to me. And I often get students coming in during my prep period as well who want a quiet space to work, or they just want to talk to me about something, whatever it might be. Um, the population at our high school, we are approximately 2,200. We are majority white, middle to upper class community. There is an increasing African American and Hispanic population that is coming in. We also have some low income or price fixed housing that is also coming in to the district, and they advertise for people in Chicago to move to the area. We have a solid presence of East Indian students as their parents work with Rockwell Collins and our engineers. We also have a number of students who are English language learners. And then within all of these diverse students, we also have students that have IEPs or individual education plans because of being deficient or below grade level in reading, math, or comprehension. Then we also have students who have other diagnosed challenges, whether it is social, emotional, maybe it is uh, uh, medical, but it is documented that they also need some kind of help, support, or intervention. Um, In order for me to have my position, essentially, I just need a Bachelor of Arts, which I do hold two of those. One is just in history, and my second is in history education. In order to continue to move up the pay scale, excuse me, it is always encouraged for people to work on their master's degree. I also have my master's degree in master's of arts in social science education. And then, in order to maintain my teaching license, I need to take recertification courses or other continuing ed courses through our area education association. Um, I have a special interest in ninth graders, formerly being a middle school teacher. Um, Ninth graders are kind of my jam. I can appreciate where they came from. I know exactly where they came from and what they come in with for skills. And I think that transition from one school to another, from one grade to another, can be incredibly challenging. And our ninth graders need a little TLC. I think that many times people see ninth grade teachers as having to do their time with the ninth graders, and I'm very passionate about helping them set the stage for success over the next 4 years. I also tend to gravitate towards students who maybe are labeled at risk or that have some barriers and need to make a connection with the teacher and build some trust and rapport in order to find success. I really enjoy the work when I can see a student move from what they arrived in with skills and uh, confidence and see that grow. Um, I have had a myriad of experiences with students who have experienced trauma, but I would say the one that stands out to me greatest was a ninth grader that I really just could not reach. And I felt like there was something more to her just based on her body language. She oftentimes was real kind of curled up in her chair, always sitting sideways, wearing oversized clothes. I talked to her, she wouldn't make eye contact, she mumbled a lot. She would space off and doodle, and I just really didn't know how to help her or what was going on. And through several different times in which I tried to make a connection with her and tried to encourage her, went and saw her while she was in her learning center, which is study hall, tried to get things caught up. She had multiple absences. I reached out to her parents, which there was only a mother. And I got a really nasty response that I didn't understand what her daughter had been through, which she's right. I had no idea. I had tried to work with our school counselor, and they just, kind of said, just keep doing what you're doing. And come to find out, this young lady had um, come home and found her brother had killed himself. So she was there and by herself with her brother who had hung himself. And then a year later, her father took his life. And then just recently, her grandfather had passed away. So she had experienced some pretty intense emotional situations that were just not allowing her to make a connection with me. Um, and I just found that um, talking with other classroom teachers that she had, asking if anything, worked for them or if they were able to get her to produce anything for them. Tried to make some connections with our student assistance counselors whom she had been working with, and trying to gain some insight on strategies I might use and how I could grow, really was what I found um, to be the only resources that I had. Um, the things that I saw that were kind of difficult to help this young lady were extended absences when she was in class, a lot of apathy, no sense of urgency to do anything. And some of my roadblocks were I obviously got off on the wrong foot with her mother. And I probably wasn't able to do a lot or know a lot because of confidentiality. And she didn't really socialize with anybody, so I couldn't even like make a connection through a friend who, would maybe be a way that I could gain some trust.